African village where red earth kissed the soles of bare feet and tradition ran deeper than rivers. Lived a young girl named Zara. Her name meant flower, and just like a flower, she bloomed with beauty and dreams far bigger than her surroundings. She didn't want riches. She didn't crave fame. All she ever wished for was freedom. Freedom to choose love over obligation. Freedom to live her life the way she imagined. But fate had something else in store. Because sometimes, the poorest man in the village hides the biggest treasure of all. This is a tale of love hidden beneath layers of secrecy. A story of identity, humility, and the painful path to destiny. And it all begins in a village forgotten by time. Zara was the kind of girl whose presence could calm the wind. With large, expressive eyes, the color of dark honey, and skin kissed by the sun. She moved with the grace of a queen even, though she wore second-hand wrappers and carried water from the stream each morning. Her father, Papa Lamy, was once a proud hunter. But a leg injury left him limping and unable to provide. Her mother sold fried bean cakes by the roadside, but it barely fed the family of 5. Zara, the eldest daughter, bore the weight of it all in silence. She dreamed of going to the city someday, becoming a nurse, helping women like her mother who toiled and bled without recognition. But dreams in her village were luxuries, and soon, even those would be stolen from her. Scene fades to the village council hall. The village elders had gathered. Zara's father, face shadowed with shame, spoke humbly before the council. "My daughter is of age, and we cannot afford to keep her. If any man will take her with respect, let him come forward." Zara's heart sank. She had heard whispers of this moment for weeks, but to hear her life being bargained like a goat in the marketplace stung deeper than bee venom. Her mother tried to comfort her. "Zara, it is for your good. You'll understand when you're older." But Zara wasn't a child. She knew what this meant. A few days later, a man stepped forward. Not a chief's son, not a wealthy trader. His name was Kwaku, a quiet man, kind. Eyes wore the same patched shirt every market day. He was known to help old mamas fetch water. He never spoke more than he had to. The villagers called him the gentle ghost because he always appeared silently and left without fanfare. Zara was stunned. Her married to him, she wept. She argued. But nothing could break the decision. Kwaku offered no bride price, just a promise. "I will never hurt her. I will honor her. That is all I have to give." Eldars approved. Zara's parents agreed. And just like that, the wedding was arranged. The village wedding, the ceremony was small. The village drummer beat a soft rhythm. Women ululated. Children danced with bare feet, chasing dust. Zara wore a borrowed wrapper and beads her grandmother left behind. She smiled, but only for the guests. Inside, she felt chained. Kwaku stood by her side, still, silent, with a look in his eyes, as though he knew something no one else did. When the priest asked him, "Do you take this woman as your wife?" he replied simply, "I already did, the moment I saw her gather herbs for the sick." No one understood what he meant, but Zara remembered. Months ago, a sick child had cried by the riverbank. She had rushed to help. Kneeling beside him and mixing leaves the old herbalist taught her to use. She hadn't noticed Kwaku watching. That night, under a roof made of rusted tin, with moonlight pouring through a crack in the wall, Zara lay awake beside the man she barely knew. He didn't touch her. He just said, "Sleep well, I'll cook yam in the morning." No demands, no harshness, just peace. And in that moment, something in her began to soften. But she didn't yet know the storm that was coming, nor the secret Kwaku carried. A secret so big, it could turn her whole world upside down. Days passed like wind-blown leaves. Zara had accepted her new life, but her heart still drifted. Every morning, she woke up before the rooster crowed. She swept the yard, fetched water, and prepared breakfast. Kwa always helped always. While other husbands lazed in the shade of palm trees, he was chopping firewood, fixing fences, helping old Mommy Kwesi across the road, or patching huts for the widows. Zara began to notice the smallest things. He never shouted. He never raised a hand. He always brought her mangoes from the forest. He even learned to cook rice just the way she liked it, soft, but not sticky. Still, she never saw him go to market to buy anything, yet they never went hungry. No one in the village knew where he truly stayed before the marriage. He had simply appeared a year ago, asked to stay near the river, and lived quietly ever since. Who is this man? She sometimes wondered, watching him laugh with children he never fathered. Zara's internal conflict. Zara didn't love Kwaku, not yet, but she didn't hate him either. There were nights when she'd catch him staring at the moon, as though talking to it. He'd whisper things she couldn't hear, in a language not native to their village. He always kept a small black leather pouch under his sleeping mat. He never let her touch it. Her curiosity itched. Was it money? Was it charms? Was it his past? She didn't ask. She respected his silence, but deep down, she began to feel something else. Something dangerous. She began to care. A village feast and a small revelation one evening. The village held a small festival to mark the harvest. Kwaku insisted Zara attend, even though she didn't want to. She dressed in a red gold wrapper and wore her mother's old bangles. As they arrived, murmurs followed them. She married that poor orphan. She could have had Chief Bella's son. Why waste such beauty? But Kwaku stood tall beside her. He even held her hand. Something no man had ever dared in public during the feast. A drunken man, Baba Tun, spilled palm wine on Kwaku's wrapper and laughed. "Clean it, beggar." Zara expected anger, but Kwaku simply smiled and walked away. Later that night, Baba Tund found his house swept, his missing goat returned, and a bag of maize at his door. He asked the whole village who did this. No one knew, but Zara did, and that night she wept quietly, not from sadness, but from guilt. "How did I not see your worth, Kwaku?" she whispered while he slept. The disappearance the next morning, Kwaku was gone. No note, no word, no footprints. Zara panicked. She searched the bush path, the riverbank, even asked the palm wine tapper if he'd seen him. Nothing. One day passed, then 2, then 5. Whispers grew in the village. He ran away. Maybe he wasn't who we thought. Maybe he was a spirit. Zara held his black pouch close every night, afraid to open it. But on the 7th day, she gave in. She untied the string. Inside, she found a golden signet ring with strange symbols, a faded photo of Kwaku in a city suit standing beside a luxury car, a business card. Printed on the finest paper, read, Kwaku K. Ousu Managing Director, Ousu Group International Real Estate Logistics, Oil Philanthropies, RO, Pounding. What? What is this? Suddenly, her memory twisted. The way he disappeared for hours. The way he never lacked food. The way he never showed frustration, even when insulted. She began to see the truth. She had been blind to. Kwaku wasn't poor. He had never been. He was hiding. But from what? And why? A return like no other. On the 10th day, the village awoke to a strange sound, deep rumbling in the earth. Then, on the dusty road, a fleet of black SUVs rolled into the village. Shiny, sleek, completely foreign to the quiet life of Prius farmers and goat herders. Children screamed in excitement. Women gasped. Men stood up from stools in confusion, and from the first car stepped out a man, Kwaku, but no longer in rags. He wore an embroidered royal blue agbada, trimmed with gold. A watch on his wrist gleamed like a star. He walked like a king. Behind him, bodyguards, assistants, a camera crew. Gifts, crates of food, everyone froze. Then came the announcement. This is the real Kweku Oyusu, billionaire philanthropist, son of the late Chief Oyusu of Kumasi. He chose to live among you to understand humility, and find a woman who loved him not for his name, but for his soul. Zara fainted. When Zara opened her eyes, the world looked different. Voices swirled around her. Excited, confused, loud. Children ran past her, chanting, "He's rich! He's rich!" Her mother was fanning her frantically. Her father was staring at the ground, in silence. And there he stood, Kweku, the same man who used to walk barefoot beside her, now in polished shoes that sparkled under the village sun. His agbada rippled with the wind like a banner of royalty. He walked toward her slowly, the crowd parting before him like the Red Sea. Zara sat up, still dizzy, her mouth dry. He knelt beside her and said gently, "I'm sorry for not telling you, but I needed to know if you'd love me even when I had nothing." Zara's confusion didn't respond. Her heart was torn in two. Anger battled with awe. Shame wrestled with confusion. "You lied to me," she whispered. "All this time, you let me think you were poor." Kweku bowed his head. "I didn't lie. I only hid the truth so I could find my own." He looked into her eyes. "I was born into riches, yes. But I saw my cousins marry women who only wanted their wealth. Their homes turned to prisons. Their hearts became hollow. I told my elders I wanted none of that." He smiled softly. "So, I left, traveled to villages across the country, lived simply. And then I saw you, helping that sick boy by the river." His voice cracked. "You didn't care who watched. You just cared." The village reacts. The villagers, once skeptical of Kweku, were now buzzing with praise. "He's a good man. He has brought wealth to our village. Zara is blessed." But Zara didn't feel blessed. She felt betrayed. "I didn't ask to be tested," she snapped, tears welling in her eyes. "I didn't ask for a rich man. I just wanted honesty." Kweku stood, wounded but calm. "I understand. I will leave now, but I will not stop caring for you. Whether or not you forgive me, you will always have my respect." And with that, he walked back to his car. The gifts left behind before leaving. Kweku left something at Zara's doorstep: a new sewing machine for her mother, medicine and crutches for her father, a school scholarship for her younger siblings, a deed of land in her name, and a letter written in his own hand. Zara picked it up that night. It read, "Zara, you are stronger than you know. You taught me what wealth cannot buy: dignity, grace, and real love. If you ever wish to find me, I'll be in Accra. But if you never do, know this: I will always be proud to have called you my wife, even for a short time." She wept for hours, clutching the letter like a lifeline. Zara's decision days passed. Then weeks. Life in the village returned to its rhythm, but not for Zara. She stared at the road every morning, hoping to see that blue agbada again. She realized something profound. She had fallen in love, not with the billionaire, not with the mansion or cars, but with the man who shared mangoes, who cooked yam, who listened to silence with her under the moon. She packed her small bag one morning, dressed in the same wrapper she wore on her wedding day. Her mother watched, her eyes wide. "Where are you going?" she asked. Zara smiled. "To find the man I once married with doubt, but now chase with all my heart." Zara's journey began with no map, no guide, just a heart full of hope and a name in her pocket: Kweku Owusu. She boarded an old, rattling bus from the village that coughed and groaned through every hill. Dust swept through the open windows, stinging her eyes. But she didn't care. She was going to accro the city of noise. Of dreams, of concrete giants scraping the sky. Her wrapper was faded. Her sandals worn thin. But her courage? Her courage was woven tighter than any cloth. Arrival in the city when Zara stepped into Accra, it was like entering a new universe. Bright lights, honking cars, towering buildings of glass and steel. Moved fast, spoke faster, and never looked back. She asked around with the card Kwaku had left. Most people waved her off. Others looked at her clothes and assumed she was begging. But then, a kind receptionist at a small hotel took pity. "You said Kwaku Owusu?" The woman asked, blinking. She typed quickly. "You mean Sir Kwaku Owusu. His office is at Skyview Plaza, 20 stories high," Zara whispered. "Thank you," holding back tears. The headquarters of Azus Group. Zara stood before the massive building like David before Goliath. Glass walls, security guards in black suits, a golden plaque that read, Azus Group International. She walked up to the front desk, hands trembling. I'm looking for Kwaku." The receptionist raised an eyebrow, scanning Zara from head to toe. "Do you have an appointment?" Zara shook her head. "Then, I'm sorry, miss. He doesn't." "Take walk-ins." Zara's heart sank. She clutched the letter he wrote her, but the receptionist had already turned away. The unexpected offer with no hotel, no money, and no friend in the city. Zara sat on a bench outside the building for hours. Then, cleaner young woman named Ama approached her. "You're not from here," Ama said kindly. Zara nodded. "I came to see someone important, but they won't let me." Ama smiled. "Then come help me clean inside. At least you'll be warm. Who knows? Maybe fate will notice you." And just like that, Zara found herself inside the Owusu Group building, holding a mop. She cleaned the very floors her husband walked on every day, unseen. The woman in the mirror. Week passed. Zara kept cleaning, watching, waiting. She saw Kwaku once at a distance, walking briskly, speaking on the phone, surrounded by executives in suits. He didn't see her. She wanted to call out, to scream, but fear held her tongue. One afternoon, while wiping the glass walls of the boardroom, she heard voices. It was Kwaku's mother, Madame Owusu. Elegant, powerful, and sharp-tongued. "We must find you a proper wife, Kwaku," she said sternly. "A woman who understands class, not some village embarrassment." Zara's heart shattered, but Kwaku replied quietly, "I already had one. She left before I could prove how much she meant to me." Madame Owusu scoffed. "She left you. What kind of woman does that?" Zara couldn't hold back any longer. She stepped out from behind the glass and said, "The kind who didn't know she was married to a man who tested her heart instead of trusting it." Gasps echoed in the room. Kwaku turned, and for a moment, time stopped. The moment of truth. Zara stood before him, no makeup, no fancy dress, no jewels, just truth. "I didn't come here for money," she said, voice trembling. "I came for you." The room was silent. Kwaku looked at her, not with anger, not with shame, but with something deeper. Love and regret. He walked to her slowly, ignoring the eyes in the room. "You came for me." Zara nodded. "I forgive you, Kwaku, and I'm sorry for leaving. I just didn't know how to love a secret." Tears welled in Kwaku's eyes. "I didn't know how to love without hiding." The reunion, he took her hand gently. "Come with me." They left the boardroom, ignored the whispers, the clicks of cameras, the disbelief outside, under the city sky. Kwaku knelt not as a billionaire but as the man who once gave her mangoes by the river. He held out a ring. "Zara, will you marry me again, this time, in truth?" Zara smiled, her tears falling like rain on dry ground. Double quotes, "Yes." This time, I choose you freely." 3 months later, the world was watching. Not just the village, not just the city, but across borders and oceans. People whispered of the love story between a billionaire in disguise and the village. Girl who chose him without knowing his wealth. The second wedding was unlike the first grand, yet still deeply personal. But this time, it wasn't just about celebration. It was about redemption, healing, honor. The real wedding under the golden canopy of a royal courtyard in Kumasi, surrounded by family, elders, leaders, and loved ones. Kwaku and Zara were married once more, but this time, the bride wore a dress, woven with gold thread made by village seamstresses. She had personally trained. She walked down the aisle on the arm of her once broken father. Now walking tall with new strength and dignity, Kwaku stood at the altar, not in a display of riches, but in white, simple, and noble. He held nothing but a flower in his hand. The same flower Zara once wore in her hair by the river. Their vows were not about fortune or fame, but about kindness, forgiveness, and choosing each other again and again. The legacy begins after the wedding. The couple made a decision. They did not run away to live in hidden luxury. They returned to the village, but not to live as before. They built a new school named after Zara's late grandmother, a hospital for women and children run by trained local nurses, a business hub to help young village girls learn trades and build futures beyond marriage. Zara led with grace and strength, showing that true queens are crowned, not with gold, but with purpose. Kwaku established a scholarship fund for orphans and built roads to connect isolated communities. And once every year, they hosted a festival, the Festival of True Hearts, to celebrate those who had chosen love over wealth, heart over appearance. The village's new pride, the same people who once whispered. She married a beggar, now bowed with pride whenever Zara walked through the market. She is one of us, they said. And yet, more than us all. An old mommy Kwesi, who had once joked that Kwaku was a spirit, now told children, don't judge a man by the dust on his feet. Sometimes angels walk in sandals. Final reflection years later, long after their story became legend. A young girl in a classroom asked Zara, "Madam, how did you know he was the one?" Zara smiled and said, "I didn't, not at first, but the heart knows what the eyes cannot see. And sometimes love tests you before it blesses you." The girl wrote that down and one day turned it into a book. That book traveled far and wide, and their story lived on. The final scene under the very tree where she once gathered herbs, Zara now sat with her children, telling them the story. Not of a billionaire, not of a poor man, but of a journey, a marriage, a truth. The youngest child asked, "Mama, was it a fairy tale?" She smiled. "No, my child. It was real." And that's what makes it beautiful. Because real love doesn't need diamonds. Sometimes it just needs a chance. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Thanks for watching. Hoped you liked it. 8. If you watched till the end, please comment "end" so that we could understand you were with us till the end. As well as, please let us know, where are you watching from? Before leaving, please hit the subscribe button, comment your thought, and share with your nearest and dearest one. See you in the next one. Until to the next one. Stay happy. Goodbye.